What's up? It's your man Dawgface TV, aka Doggy Dog, aka Dawgface Calderon, and I just jumped off the porch with Dirty Little Bastard and my mother real.
She's a bad with some motion. She can make a move in slow motion. I ain't nothing like a last dude.
All right, so we got our guy, the one and only Dawgface, back on Off the Porch for third time, fourth time, fifth time?
Third, fourth time.
Not including the performances for interview.
not-
at least a third, I feel like.
Everything is separate. We're gonna separate everything. You hear me?
For
It's
sure.
it's my honor and my pleasure to be back here, though.
No, it's always love, bro. It's like, you know, you're so outspoken. You know, every time you're on the porch, I feel like we're going to get something viral out you anyway, man.
Yeah,
So.
and a lot of times we don't even be trying. It's just
Nah,
natural.
it's just you be speaking your mind and everything, man.
Right.
Yeah, so first off, how we feeling today, though, bro?
Oh, I feel good, man. I'm like James Brown. I feel good. You hear me? I don't have a care in the world. And ain't any problem in sight.
Nah, I dig it, man. You looking good, man.
Oh.
Diamond shining, you know,
my
everything
shit.
hitting on there. Looking a little different, man.
A little money. You know, money changes attitudes. You hear me? The first time I came on here, I was broke as hell.
Wait,
hear me?
you could have fooled me.
Yeah, but you know, sometimes that's the whole name of the game, though. Do a little fooling, and then you can hopefully get graded later. You hear me?
Yep. And you one of the few that will rock the diamonds and the yellow gold too. I feel like they ain't doing that, man.
That's godly. That's African. That's we it is what it is. You hear me? I'm gonna throw it all on.
Yeah, and I feel like some folks don't even realize that yellow gold, depending on the carats,
Yeah.
probably more expensive than some of these diamonds that these rappers
especially
wearing
now,
anyway.
Especially now Trump back in office, that gold hitting. You hear me? It's over $100 a gram. You hear me?
Did you vote for Trump again, man? Last time he was here, you was like, man, we need Trump back in
I'm
office.
tell you the truth, man. I voted for Trump, man. Don't crucify me when this come out. But yeah, I voted for him again, man. You hear me? Because if the lesser of two evils, even though he seems what it appears as if he's the more evil of the three candidates we had. Hey, listen, man, I would always rather have somebody who's gonna tell me the truth, whether I like it or not, about whatever it is they got going on. You hear me?
Yeah, it's like he's not two-faced. He's upfront about exactly who he is.
If it's one thing he is not, it is two-faced. You know what you get when you get him. It is what it is, you hear me? So what you have to do is learn how to, because no matter what the political party is, no matter who the candidate is, you have to learn as an individual to maneuver within the system that's set. It's as simple as that, or you're gonna lose no matter who's in office. It's not like when Joe Biden was in office that black people as a whole won. A lot of things that took place that we wish would have turned out differently, man. So the key is don't fall in love with no political party, man. You fall in love with the process, and then you try to figure out a way to maneuver within that process because you can't control it no matter what. All you can do is try to figure out how to play, within the confines of what they got going on.
Yep. And it's like what they always say is like the president, he's really not in charge anyway. You know, he's just the face of this shit anyway.
If that hasn't been made more clear in the last 10, 15 years, in the last 5, 6 years, I don't know what to tell you.
Nah, real shit, man. So, dog, since the last time you've been on here, man, YouTube been going crazy, man. Dawgface TV, bro. Man, talk about this journey these past few years, because I feel like the first time we interviewed, you wasn't even doing YouTube.
I was interviewing, but I wasn't like keenly focused on. I wasn't doing the YouTube commentary. I wasn't doing the academics type thing. I wasn't blogging. I wasn't podcasting. I was interviewing. The first, I started out podcasting in 2011, but I moved away from it and I went behind the scenes into artist development, management, marketing, promotion, and shit like that, right? It wasn't until Big D from Mogul State of Mind kind of like snatched me up about 2 years ago and said, hey man, you can be just as big as a Charleston White or anybody else on YouTube based on the dynamics of your personality and how well spoken and how well rounded and how well traveled you are. You have a story to tell and most people don't know it, so I want to put you in front of the camera and I want to interview you. And I want to dig at who Dawgface really is. And it's like 2 years ago, this month is when I first had the conversation with Big D from Mogul State of Mind. And ever since then, he passed away, unfortunately, right? But ever since then, he set me up to win, right? And I've been winning ever since.
Yeah, and talk about some of the ups and downs with, with your YouTube, because we know there's been a lot of controversy with that too, man.
Well, going into it, I want to shout out once again Big D. I want to shout out Sean Cotton because they were like, they were operating the same a multimedia space out in Dallas, which is where Big D was stationed. He's originally from Detroit, but he was stationed out in Dallas, Texas. So I want to shout him out. I want to shout Sean Cotton out for all the advice. When it came to building this version of Dawgface TV, or just Dawgface period, right? They gave me a lot of insight that I was able to use to navigate my way quickly up the YouTube ladder in terms of subscribers, and in terms of putting myself and keeping myself in the algorithm. You know, playing the algorithm is what everybody wants to do because it puts you in the spotlight. They gave me all the game I needed. And like I said before, I did one episode of my Dawgface. Dawgface TV is supposed to be a show on Mogul State of Mind's YouTube channel. He passed away after we did one episode. We did our first episode on a Wednesday. He passed away Saturday morning. But prior to him passing away, he gave me a list. He said, he gave me a choice. He said, listen, man, I can do everything for you, or you can go buy all the equipment. I'll show you how to set it up, and I'll show you how to program everything so that even if I'm not around, you'll be able to continue doing what you do. He told that to me 1 week prior to our first show. 2 weeks after that, he passed away. So he gave me all the game I needed to make my run prior to him passing away, man. And I appreciate that because oftentimes in the world of entertainment, no matter what you do, whether it's music or film or entertainment, podcasting and YouTubing is a part of the entertainment spectrum now. A lot of times when you operate in the world of entertainment, people don't give you the game, and certainly they don't give you the game for free.
Oh yeah.
And if they do give you the game, it's always some strings attached to it. I respect him, and I'm gonna always honor his name because he gave me the game that has been paying me very well. It ain't about the money because I was already doing well, but it's just about, he gave me the game with no strings attached. And a lot of times, as you already know, in the world of entertainment, that just don't happen like that, man. It's always some backdoor understanding, or there's always it's always somebody wanting something, especially when they see you moving and shaking.
Yeah.
The podcast game has been crazy for me, man. I had a couple of ups and downs. I lost my channel earlier this year. January of this year, I lost my channel. I was up to 60,000 subs, and my channel was growing. I was getting between 500 and 700 subs every day. It was a projection that I lost my channel in January of this year. By March, April, I would have hit the 100,000 sub mark, right? But people chose to attack me because they knew what it was. They tried to silence me by reporting. We had a couple of people, man, I ain't gonna say their names because that shit ain't even, I ain't gonna put the motherfuckers I ain't finna give the niggas no airtime. But the motherfuckers attacked me directly because they ain't like me. Niggas was hating. They didn't want to see me shine. So the first thing they did was they started reporting me. They said they reported YouTube directly. I don't know where these things got this problem, but it was power from. But motherfuckers reported my channel directly. They went right to Meta and reported that I was using my channel to cyberbully, harass, threaten, and intimidate motherfuckers. I had never had a strike on my channel, not one. And they took my channel without having a strike. That's how strong the complaints and the accusations of me bullying, harassing motherfuckers was. I had never had a strike. In the world of YouTube, and you in it, you know without a strike, I had never seen that happen before.
Yeah, usually they give you 3 strikes and then you out of it.
I didn't have a strike. I didn't have a strike. I had no suspensions, no none of that shit. But that's how heavy the complaining was. That's how heavy the movement to shut my shit down was. But I'm back now. I'm at, I crossed the 25,000 subscriber mark. It took me 4 months to get there.
Okay.
Because at first I was like, fuck YouTube. You know what I'm saying? I went straight to Patreon.
Yep.
So if anybody want to see me get off raw, go subscribe to Dawgface.
That's like, there's no limits over there.
No limit,
bro.
no limit.
There's no censorship whatsoever.
And then the funny thing about it is that both Big D and Sean Cotton told me that once I hit 50,000 subscribers, that it was best for me to go to Patreon, because once you start to hit the 50,000, 75,000, 100,000 sub mark, that's when people start trying to attack you because they already know the kind of money that you're seeing, and they already know the kind of power and influence you have with that subscribership. You don't need 1 million subs to have a real serious impact in the world of YouTube or in the world of anything else. But they've been told me to just drop clips on YouTube and then go to Patreon and get off.
Yeah.
But I was having so much motion and having so much fun doing what I was doing, it slipped my mind. And then when Big D passed away, I was just focused on keeping the legacy going and keeping Dawgface TV going. I didn't go to Patreon like he told me to. So when they took my channel, I didn't even come back on YouTube instantly. I said, fuck YouTube. I was on some anti-YouTube shit. What I did was I went right to Patreon. And I think once I announced I had a Patreon, I had to create a new Instagram too, because the same motherfuckers who reported my YouTube reported my Instagram as well. So when I started to follow you, you was like, who the fuck is this? It's me again, because they reported all my social media. I lost my Instagram page, my YouTube page, my Twitter. I lost all that shit, so I had to restart all that shit. So I got back on YouTube about 4 months ago, just as a leader to, I'm here, but go to Patreon if you really want to see me get off.
Yeah. And how important was it for you to be authentic with your content and not just, build up a character like some of these other personalities?
Well, I mean, the whole thing is, that was one of the qualities that D from Mogul State of Mind and Sean Cotton, once I got into conversations with them prior to the interviews and especially after the interviews, they was like, bro, you're not a character. The shit you said, this is you. At first, because Big D was aware of me, but he had never talked to me in person before. A lot of his family members in Detroit recommended me to him when he started to come to Detroit and start to interview people on his platform. But after that first interview, he was like, man, you're gonna be a star, bro. You Charleston Wright minus all the rat shit. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be, you Wack100 minus all the bullshit. You feel what I'm saying? And as far as I'm concerned, man, I don't even try to be what people see. That's just me. When you've been knowing me for years now, over 5-6 years now, and exactly what you see is exactly what it is. If I say it, I'm gonna stand on it. I'm not into just saying shit for the purposes of trying to be sensational or trying to be controversial. That's the biggest misconception that some people who don't know me have, is that I'm purposely trying to say shit for clickbait or for views and likes and all the other kinds. I give a fuck. I care about it because it pays me. But at the same time, when I'm saying something, I'm only gonna say what I genuinely, wholeheartedly believe in. I ain't gonna say nothing just to get somebody's, just to win favor or to curry favor with somebody or just to try to shoot somebody down. So it goes both ways. Mm-hmm. I ain't trying to win your admiration and I ain't trying to say some shit that's just crazy just because. I try to be as responsible as I can with my platform.
Yeah, and when you rejoined YouTube 4 months ago, did you kind of tone it down a bit? Like,
No, I got worse. Fuck them. Take that shit. Fuck them. Fuck them. Take that shit. I ain't never gonna turn it down. I was worse, because my whole thing is, and especially now that I know how easy, it's hurtful to lose your shit, especially when it comes to that income stream, because at that particular point in time, I was making $6,000 a month. That ain't a lot of money to some people, but $6,000 a month for me just to be talking shit on YouTube, that's a mortgage, that's a car note or two, depending on what your lifestyle is laying like, you hear me? So, it was just, when I joined, I thought about it. It crossed my mind, and some of the people who I talked to, Hellcat, shout out to my dog Hellcat. Shout out to every Helliver, my man RJ Watkins. Shout out to the people who I talked to about just, because everybody was hurt because they knew that people purposely aimed at my shit to try to silence me. So the motherfuckers who I fucked with, they was upset about the shit, but I was upset at first, but then it took me maybe a couple of days to get over that shit because I didn't give a fuck, because I'm still driving big, I'm still living good, you know what I'm saying? I'm still gonna rebuild my platform. And then I realized that when I talked to you, I talked to Uncle Zip, and they was like, man, once people discover you on YouTube, it's not like social media. Once people know you exist, and once people fall in love with your style of commentary, they're gonna come back. Mm-hmm. Some of the biggest names in the world of YouTube, from academics to you name it, they've lost their channels and got it right back, right? So people they're gonna come look for you, especially if they like what you have to offer.
Oh yeah.
So when I came back on YouTube, I thought about it for a split second, but I'm worse now than I was when they took my shit. That lets me know how much hate and how motherfuckers was just reporting my shit. Motherfuckers basically calling him the fucking president to get me shut down. Right? Because I'm worse now than I was then. I'm talking more shit. My captions, fuck you, I'm putting bitch. I'm not even, bro, if you look at my captions, I'm like, fuck you, bitch, on YouTube. I don't even give a fuck no more. Take that bitch, I'll build another one. It's just as simple as that. So now I'm not more careful, I'm more reckless than I ever have been because of how motherfuckers play me, man. I don't give a fuck, take that shit. You can find me on Patreon. I'm still gonna get off. I'm gonna rebuild it and come right back. I don't give a fuck about that shit.
Yeah, because it's like that's what built your fan base was, you being you. So I feel like if you kind of toned it down, censored it a little bit, your fans could be like, bro, what are we doing, man?
Hey, listen, I don't feel like I was wrong. And in fact, I'm gonna say I know I wasn't wrong. So I lost my YouTube channel not because I was just being reckless or I was being just, I didn't have any regard for what I was saying. I lost my channel because motherfuckers directly aimed at me, trying to silence me because they was hating, mad, angry, and fucking upset. It wasn't because I was violent. Like I said, I never had a strike. As reckless as I was, I had never had a strike. So that lets me know it wasn't about what I was saying. It was about who I was saying it to. So motherfuckers tried to shut me down that way. So no, I'm rawer than I was then. Now I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, because I feel like it takes a lot for YouTube to even give you a strike. They'll be quick to demonetize a certain video or something, but for it to actually get taken down.
I had never had a video demonetized, and I'm a cussing motherfucker. You know why? Because when I first made your acquaintance, and we were first talking about everything that I was into, like, bro, don't cuss. It was in the first couple of minutes.
Yeah.
Because the bots, they really only going to examine the first, and then go ahead and get off on the ass, right? And then that's the same thing D and Sean Cotton told me, just hold up before you go full speed on the motherfucker, right? Lead into it. You ain't got to start off cussing and fussing, acting a fool. So that's what I was doing. I had never had a video demonetized. I had never had a strike, like I said before. I had never even had a warning of any sort.
Yeah, that shit crazy. They just out the blue just got you like that, man. A lot of the topics you talk about are like Detroit related, man.
Right.
What's the response from the city? Does it get divided? You kind of get from both sides on topics?
It depends on who I'm talking about. If I'm talking about one of these niggas superhero, if I'm talking about one of these bitch ass niggas who these motherfuckers look up to, see, because in Detroit, there's a certain segment of the city of Detroit, as it is in many other cities, where you have people who look up to people who are considered legends. My thing is, man, I've attacked certain people, not just for the sake of attacking certain people, but I won't even say attack. I've addressed certain things that I thought was wrong based on my sense and how I view life and how I look at life. And some of the people who I've said things about, they're considered legendary in the eyes of people who came up in Detroit, especially in the last 20 years, man. I don't give a fuck who you are. If you are an offender of urban culture, I'm gonna say something about you. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna voice my opinion. There's a lot of shit that I see, I don't talk about at all. And that's the thing that a lot of motherfuckers from Detroit, now I'm glad you asked that question, a lot of things that motherfuckers, because people say, well, Dawgface, he's a cancer, he's a devil. I've been called a devil, I've been called a cancer, I've been called a stroke on the city, I've been called all kind of shit. But the thing is, motherfuckers should appreciate a motherfucker like me. You need a bad guy like me. You need a motherfucker who gonna stand up and speak truth to a lot of the fuck ass shit that motherfuckers see going on. You need that shit. And when you got a bunch of motherfuckers who are afraid to say what needs to be said, then the people who are misusing or abusing their power or authority or their status, they gonna keep on doing the same shit because ain't nobody gonna say nothing about it. I ain't never been a motherfucker like that. A motherfucker don't like what I'm saying, fuck you. Fuck your mama, fuck your sister, fuck your dog, fuck your homework, fuck your first grade teacher, fuck them. I'm gonna say what I got to say. And if a motherfucker don't like it, I ain't academics. I'll be outside.
Yeah.
I'll be outside. Now, do a motherfucker really wanna get into it? We gotta blow a motherfucker about some YouTubing and, no, a motherfucker don't wanna, I'm a grown man, I have children and grandchildren. But at the same time, YouTubing, providing social commentary to a lot of shit that goes on from a political and entertainment and sports perspective, that shit's necessary. More motherfuckers listening, more people in our society nowadays, especially in the urban sector, they turn on YouTube before they turn on CNN or ESPN. I'm a truth teller. I ain't gonna lie on a motherfucker. You might not like what I'm saying, but I ain't gonna lie on you. And that's the difference. So it is what it is. So of course I got a lot of backlash about that shit because I'm talking about these motherfuckers urban folklore hero. How dare you talk about royalty like this? That motherfucker royalty to you. That motherfucker ain't royalty to me. I didn't get the memo. I'm supposed to bow down to these bitch motherfuckers. Ain't nobody told me that shit. And if I would have got the memo, I would have told that bitch up and said, fuck you anyway.
One of the hot topics in Detroit right now is Grizzley and the murder case about his aunt right now, man.
Right.
And you've been very vocal about this too.
Yes,
man.
I have.
And there seems to be a lot of, conspiracies around this, man. What's your thoughts on everything that's being said online about this?
Well, let me just, so I think it's most appropriate for me to start at the beginning. So, who knew that the world of YouTubing, podcasting, and blogging was going to turn into, who knew that some of the most prominent figures in the world of YouTubing, podcasting, and blogging were going to turn into modern day investigative journalists, bro? Who knew that was going to happen? Like the situation with Wack100 and his whole exposure camp, Luce and 600, Christopher Lovejoy and his whole exposure camp. I thought that shit was just a one-off that was exclusive to California, to the whole LA shit. Who knew that you had so many people who were secretly on the same tip as a Wack100, bro? Wack100, in terms of how Wack100 and Luce specifically and Christopher Lovejoy, how they played Big U. When you look at guys who all claiming to be street motherfuckers, all claiming to be Crips and Bloods and Pyrus, when you look at how they played Big U, how they got on Clubhouse and then got on social media and then got on YouTube and started talking about unsolved crimes, extortion, murder, robberies, assaults. When you see how Wack100, Luce Christopher Lovejoy, you see how they played Big U? All for the purposes of trying to make happen what eventually happened. They're the ones, their exposure and their coverage of the things that Big U was alleged to have done, they put a spotlight on that shit to the point to where the feds used them to help build a case, a workable, usable, serviceable case against Big U and got him locked up. And then, bro, listen, Wack100, you can say what you want to say about him, but at what point in time does a motherfucker who banging Pyru, at what point in time is he able to convince all Crips to turn against a Crip? Luce Cannon, Crip. Brick Baby, Crip. 600 claims to be, they all claim to be Crips, neighborhood cats. At what time in history can a motherfucker who wears a Pyru flag, for better or for worse, is able to convince motherfuckers from a whole different set to go against a member of their set, whether they like him or not? They got a motherfucker sitting in federal lockup right now, and the stupid motherfuckers got themselves locked up by telling shit that really happened. Oh yeah, we extorted Rick Ross. We extorted Meek Mills. We grabbed him up in the club and held him against his will and called Rick Ross like, if you don't pay us, you ain't gonna see him and we're gonna put him in the trunk. They interviewing motherfuckers from LA who allegedly stole a U-Haul truck full of Christmas toys at Big U's instruction. These are Crips. They're interviewing Crips talking about real life crimes. And Wack100 manipulated these motherfuckers and he put them on No Jumper. He put them on his podcast to shine a light on it because he knew what the fuck was gonna happen. Wack100 is a brilliant piece of shit. Because he was able to manipulate, these niggas supposed to be gangsters. These ain't just no square L7 motherfuckers. These motherfuckers been in prison, jail, they didn't put work in on hood, on Crip, on the set, on Pyru, on blood, they did all that shit. He was able to take these motherfuckers and convince them that the shit they was doing wasn't telling. That's some amazing shit, bro. That's some amazing shit.
So you think he did this purposely?
Absolutely. When him and Big U fell out, what he did was he knew that he didn't have enough moxie within of himself to do it, so he knew he had to incorporate people who Big U had crossed or who had fell out of love or out of sync with Big U, because if you think about it, the Brick Babies of the world, the Luce Cannons, they were all part of Big U clique. So what Wack100 did was simple. He utilized the art of war, right? The enemy of my enemy is, right? So what he did was he went to them motherfuckers after he became known publicly, they fell out with Big U. He just incorporated them because they wasn't nobody. Big U, what's his whole ass nigga name? Luce Cannon, Christopher Lovejoy. Them lame motherfuckers didn't have no status for they got on No Jumper. He put them on No Jumper and he gave them status. He gave them a microphone, he gave them a bullhorn. He put them in position to be able to communicate their displeasure and dislike and to be able to talk about all the shit that Big U did criminally. He put them on platforms that amplified all the shit that he wanted to be known. He used them to attack Big U, and that's why Big U is sitting in a federal holding facility right now. He absolutely did do it.
That shit wild, man.
I challenge a motherfucker to tell me how that's not the facts.
Because we know the feds are watching YouTube.
We know that.
This is in almost every, this comes up in court and discovery all the time.
So listen, if a motherfucker think that ain't true, listen. Wack100 in Luce County interviewed the guy who says that Big U got him and somebody else to steal last Christmas, not no 5-6 years ago. Last Christmas, a U-Haul truck full of $40,000, $50,000 worth of toys that probably passed out to the kids in LA in their neighborhood came up missing. They interviewed a Crip who said during the interview on YouTube and on Instagram and on Clubhouse, the guy said, I'm a Crip, and Big U gave us the keys to steal the U-Haul. That's why when they found the U-Haul, the neck wasn't broken, it wasn't tilted. We had the keys. And he said he was gonna pay us on the back end when the GoFundMe money came in, because people were gonna rush to do a GoFundMe to pay to get the toys back. He was gonna pay us on the back end. They interviewing the motherfucker saying that Big U orchestrated a robbery, a theft, or larceny. And they did it proudly. And nobody from LA wasn't saying shit. They were just sitting back watching this shit happen on No Jumper, watching this shit happen on their podcast. Wasn't nobody saying shit. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's absolutely insane. Yeah, exactly.
So that is investigative journalism turned into listen, bro, this shit is turned into the modern day hip hop police. These podcasters, the City Nashes of the world, the Wack100s, of course, he's a ringleader, all these Poetic Flacco, these motherfuckers, look at the T Grizzley, we talking about T Grizzley. All these motherfuckers are on YouTube right now trying to do, they like Scooby-Doo. These motherfuckers like Scooby and Shaggy and Thelma. What's the other motherfucker name? Scooby, Shaggy, Thelma, and the other motherfucker. They doing a better job at investigating this shit than the federal government, than law enforcement, man. Yeah, he did this. Yeah, T Grizzly's not on trial. I don't give a fuck how it look. He's not on trial. So when people, I literally have hundreds of people in my DM, in my inbox, emails, all kind of shit, commenting on my YouTube channel, why you ain't talking about T Grizzly? Why you ain't connecting the dots like that? It ain't my job to put no motherfucking murder on no motherfucker. That ain't my motherfucking job. It ain't my job to provide, to investigate this shit to the point to where I'm putting together circumstantial evidence to help get a motherfucker indicted, convicted, prosecuted. That ain't my motherfucking job. That's what the fuck that is. That ain't my job to know shit like that. I know, but see the thing about it is I know T Grizzly before he became a star. I knew JB. Me and JB originally from the same city, which is Pontiac. JB not from Detroit. She's from Pontiac, Michigan, which is right outside. We had the whole Pontiac conversation before. I know JB, right? And I was around JB. I've been to Vegas with them. I booked him in Tampa Bay. I booked him in Orlando, so I know both of them well. So I never heard, and I talked to JB 3-4 times a month, not about T, but about other artists who she was thinking about signing, about how she could move him around and what she should do and what she shouldn't do. Because she wasn't a perfect person when it came to being a manager. You know what I'm saying? So she was also the kind of person that if she believed in you and she trusted you, she would call to ask questions about what she should do, because she was still a young manager. You know, figuratively speaking, of course. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. So I don't know nothing about her and T falling out. I don't know. So when people ask me, I didn't hear nothing about it. And I talked to her 3-4 times a month at least. So I ain't never heard nothing about her and T falling out. And when I talk to T and people around T, I know Boss Move. I know D-Doc. I know everybody who around him. I ain't never seen them argue. I'm sure they probably have, but I've never seen anything that would have risen to the level of him doing some shit like that. And it ain't my job to try to figure out about no motherfucking crime. I ain't no motherfucker. I ain't the Pink Panther. I ain't the Pink Panther. I ain't motherfucking Matlock. I ain't the Law and Order. That ain't my job. And these podcasters, YouTubers, and bloggers, they wrong as a motherfucker. Motherfucker, just say that you are a police, right? I thought it was just Wack100, but couldn't find out it's all these motherfuckers on the same tip. Just say you the police then. Stop talking about Charleston White. Stop saying who a rat, who this, who that. Wack100, he love to say this nigga rat, that nigga rat, BG a rat, this a rat, that rat. He love pointing the finger and calling out motherfuckers a rat. But he fuck with nothing but rats. His behavior is nothing but rat-like. It's a bunch of contradictions, but he talks so fast that the average motherfucker don't catch it, bro. You contradicting yourself in every term. You talked about a motherfucker rat, you trying to point out niggas rat behavior, but you the biggest rat in the history of urban YouTubing. Wack100 is the biggest rat. There is no bigger rat than that. He more than a rat, he a rodent because listen, this motherfucker, not only is he a rat bastard, no pun intended on the dirty glove bastard tip, but this motherfucker tried to encourage other motherfuckers to rat too. That nigga's diabolical.
Now, when it comes to the bloggers covering this Grizzley situation, do you feel like they doing it for monetary gain, or they just doing it for clout to try and get that breakthrough, like, hey, oh, I broke the case or some shit?
Yes, all that. It's a combination. It's not just one thing. It's all that. Of course. Now, so listen. We know they're going to attack it because it's content. It just so happens that a real life situation that involving somebody losing their life and somebody, a cat from Chicago, on trial. For this shit, it just so happens it's a real life scenario. But of course, and I'm not mad about, or I'm not upset, or I'm not criticizing people for covering it. But I'm simply saying, I didn't know you was the police. I didn't know that you were going to use your platform to try to string together evidence to try to aid and assist. These motherfuckers are saying they got confidential sources. Or I got a source in Detroit. You got motherfuckers who've never been to Detroit day in their life. Now these niggas got confidential sources who've been sitting in and talking to, oh, somebody said this month. God damn. Y'all got you sound like the police. You sound like a reporter for the Atlanta Sun-Times or the LA Sun-Times. What the fuck you got? What tip you on? Yeah, and I ain't mad because it's news. So anything, I would be a hypocrite to say that they're wrong for covering it. It's just a manner with which they are doing what they're doing. That's what I take exception with, and that's what I don't like.
Yeah, and with content, in the content world, there's a lot of copycats. So once one person brings it up, it's like everyone wants to jump in.
I ain't knocking that, because I have heard and saw stories and jumped on and gave my perspective too. However, I've never tried to provide breadcrumbs leading from the scene of the crime to the precinct. I ain't with that shit. That's
doing too much.
That's doing too much.
That's doing way too much, man. Speaking of trials and all that, man, the YSL case finally wrapped up, man. I'm sure you kept track of this, man. What was your thoughts on everything?
I spoke on it. I covered that extensively. I am happy that Thug is home. I'm happy Luce home. Salute to both of those gentlemen, right? And it seems as if when Lil Baby brought Luce out, Lil Baby was more, Lil Baby is like, he more wide. Lil Baby fuck with Thug. They go back. Thug is credited with helping Lil Baby, establish his career from the very beginning of it, encouraged him to rap. So I'm encouraged by what seemingly is those guys learning from the lessons that they were just experienced. I'm glad that both of those powerful figures came home, and it appears as if they're moving with their head on right. Because oftentimes, even when motherfuckers bang their head and bump their head, they still come out and do hoe shit and do stupid shit. I'm happy that they have kind of like rounded that out. However, the city of Atlanta got a problem on their hands. We discovered from watching the Luce's trial, and we discovered from watching the YSL trial. A lot of goddamn rats. There's a lot of goddamn rats in Atlanta. If you a rapper from Atlanta, I don't want to hear you talking about nobody told on nobody about nothing. Because y'all got a bunch of motherfuckers that we learned from that YSL trial specifically who can told on every goddamn thing. And now they free on 25,000 years probation. But they running around, they rapping, they moving around, they going out to eat, they at Papados, they moving around, they at the clubs, and they ain't told on motherfuckers, and motherfuckers in Atlanta know they ain't told. So it's cool. I ain't trying to encourage no motherfucker into no violence towards no motherfucking rat. But if you a rapper from the Georgia, fuck Atlanta. I don't want to hear y'all talking about no nigga from New York ratted, Detroit ratted, LA ratted, Houston ratted. I don't want to hear that about you niggas. You niggas need to focus on what's going on down here because there's so many motherfucking rodents y'all got around this motherfucker. It don't make no motherfucking sense. But I digress. I don't want to get too much in that. No. You know what I'm saying? But I'm happy. It's a good thing for Atlanta that you see these guys able to come home and come from up under that shit, man. Fanny needs to do a better job in her investigation because she looks horrible. You spent millions of dollars trying to prosecute a motherfucker, and it wasn't a total loss because she was able to convince them to take pleas and all that other kind of shit, but it is what it is. I don't like how they treating Gunna neither. I don't like how they treating Gunna.
Do you feel like what he did was wrong or no?
I mean, listen, when you take a cop, you have to acknowledge certain aspects of what you're being tried with. How in the fuck do people get all this pressure for Gunna, but everybody know that Gunna he was never an integral part. He was never a significant part of all the beef. Gunna didn't really have no beef. He was guilty through association with his friends, right? But Gunna ain't no motherfucking gangster. We seen Gunna on the Crime Stopper shit 10, 15 years ago giving Blues Clues. So you know what type of motherfucker he was. So if you got him around you after you seen he did that, that's on you. It's your fault. Some of this shit is our own fault. Motherfuckers be acting like they don't know that the motherfucker got that shit in them because they want to ignore it because it's their homeboy. But a lot of this shit, motherfuckers know they man rats, bro. Or got rat tendencies, man. If you think motherfuckers don't peep that shit, you crazy as a motherfucker. Motherfuckers be knowing that they man a weak bitch ass nigga. They just don't want to tell you because that's their man. They don't want to expose their man. And they high, drunk, ain't paying attention, and they high off their power and fame. But these niggas know these niggas they fuck with in their camp is a subject to tell on a motherfucker. You can look at these niggas and tell.
What'd you think of Woody's testimony?
I think Woody did everybody a favor in Atlanta. Woody was cooperating over the last 10 plus years. The good thing about it is I respect him for trying to correct his wrong. I'm gonna keep it gangster. A lot of motherfuckers don't wanna say that. Oh, he ratted, he told them motherfuckers. Hey, you got niggas who rat and don't take it back. He took the back. He tried to, he didn't try, he did. And he frustrated the entire, they built that case.
Yeah, he was their star witness.
Bro,
and he did not help them.
Listen, all this shit that he been telling for 10 years, they built that case in large part based on Woody's testimony. They know he a shooter. They know he was a stepper. They know he'll crush something. They know he in those circles. They know he know. They based that case in large part based on Woody's testimony, just like in the Diddy case. They based that Diddy shit on what Cassie said without really examining all the other facts that would have supported their motherfucking case. So Woody, I salute Woody because Woody tried. A lot of motherfuckers in the hood from coast to coast, they don't never recant their shit. They don't never try to frustrate the shit. So I respect him for that. That might sound strange, but I'm telling you the truth. I'm gonna keep it gangster with you. I respect him for that because if he would have stood on the shit he was saying, they would be in prison right now. If he would have stood on that shit he'd be ratting about, because Atlanta was tired of YSL, bro. Atlanta was tired of all the shooting. They was tired of all the violence. They was tired of motherfuckers just running over this bitch and just going crazy. They was tired of that. So the citizens of Atlanta, for the most part, they didn't mind Fanny doing that shit. Because motherfuckers were scared. They were scared of what the fuck was going on down here in Atlanta. You hear me? You couldn't go nowhere without ducking around this bitch. You hear me? So they might not say that out loud, but a lot of motherfuckers from Atlanta, man, they were happy that the threat of YSL and the beef that happened between YFN and YSL was off the radar. They were happy about that, man. Because motherfuckers can come outside and play. They can come outside and play. They can recreate themselves and make themselves to be the gangsters because Thug and Luce and them sit somewhere in a jail cell.
Do you feel like Woody redeemed himself then, or is he still around?
No, you can't. Well, nah, you went too far. That you about went too far. But you about went too far with that, right? But it's not even important about. I don't think he was trying to redeem himself in the eyes of the general public. I think that he, once the indictment happened, once he realized that he was I really believe that he was just trying to mouse his way out of the shit so he wouldn't get locked up.
Like he said, he would tell them what they wanted to hear.
What they wanted. I really believe that, bro. Because Woody was a stepper and he wasn't scared of nothing. So it's not like he telling them to get rid of a motherfucker like some motherfuckers do. Some niggas tell and rat on niggas to get rid of them because they don't want to see them. I ain't gonna say no names, but somebody else from Atlanta was telling on a motherfucker because they wanted to get rid of a motherfucker because they didn't want to see that motherfucker because that motherfucker was dangerous and might do something to him again. That's normally why somebody rat on a motherfucker, try to get him off the street, right? But no, I think first of all, Woody was broke as fuck by his own admission. Woody got more money than most of these rappers around this motherfucker right now. He riding better. I've been down there in Mechanicsville, down Pryor, where 656 is, and all you see is $100,000 plus cars. So he doesn't have the momentum that he had maybe a year ago, but he still was able to change his life. He's the most popular, besides 6ix9ine and then Woody, the two most popular snitches in the history of, Lil Meech. Lil Meech a rat motherfucker. That rat son bitch. It's 6ix9ine, Woody, then Lil Meech.
How do you feel about Woody having a career as like this content creator and, you know, just being a personality too?
Charleston White has a career. Why wouldn't Woody? It is ironic and it is crazy. And I know he's shocked and surprised that the popularity and the notoriety that he received, that he was able to capitalize and turn that shit into some monetary gain. I know he was surprised by that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I hope that he takes from this entire situation and becomes a better person after having done that. I hope he changes his life around, right? I hope that happens.
Yeah. You mentioned the Diddy trial. Did you think it was over for him when he first got arrested? I kind of thought it was over.
Well, once the charges came down, because I'm like a legal beagle, lawyer ass motherfucker myself, right? I knew that case wasn't strong enough. I mean, I know the difference between sensationalism and facts on the ground. I know the difference between using the court of public opinion to try to tear somebody down and actual hardcore, tangible, serviceable information that you can use to convict a motherfucker or that you can use to support the charges. I knew that shit was about, it's a greater power in play when it comes to Diddy. Diddy is a horrible motherfucker. Diddy is, let's keep it gangster. Who knew that in the world of hip hop we had that much homosexuality? Because hip hop is really like a macho, machismo ass type deal. It's like, it's misogynistic, it's homophobic as a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? You can't be openly gay and be a hip hop star. You know what I'm saying? That Saucy Santana nigga, that's a whole different thing. He got, you know, that's a whole different level. But hip hop is, historically, is homophobic, and I don't even want to use the term homophobic. It's not accepting of people who live alternative lifestyles. I'll put it like that, right? Mm-hmm. So, but who knew? And who knew that Diddy was fucking all them motherfuckers and rubbing baby oil on them? And gangster motherfuckers too. Who knew? Who knew that this much motherfucker was serving motherfucking young artists up on plates so Diddy and his motherfucking merry band of idiots can abuse them? And he was using his power and his influence to violate these motherfuckers, and they were going for it. The going for it part is nasty work. But that shows you how much of a drug being famous is. You're willing to compromise everybody. Once Diddy get locked up, we been knew he did that. What you mean you been knew he did it? So y'all knew that he was preying on young men and young women like this, and nobody said anything about it because he had too much power and influence. And that tells you about power and influence. Motherfuckers can be bought off. Motherfuckers can be bought down, bought off, bought up, bought left, bought right. You hear me? You can't trust this shit. So all that showed me was I wasn't surprised about the verdict, because as the trial started to unfold, I was paying attention to it. And my YouTube Streets panel, Public Figure Boogie, Beat Factory Juice, Detroit Gossip, Henny Say Reviews, and the Meet the Shoe, the homegirls from Meet the Shoe, we were all watching that shit real close. And Henny Say Reviews was actually up in New York going to the trial, and she was feeding us information about what she was seeing and hearing firsthand in court. I knew that shit wasn't strong enough to stick. I knew that shit was gonna get knocked down. He know too much about motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? I said from the very beginning, if you go back and look at my commentary, I said from the very beginning, they're gonna throw that shit out, or he's gonna get convicted of lesser offenses that's not gonna merit a lot of jail time, if any jail time at all, because he knows too much about too many people. And if you think about it, at the very beginning of this shit, they were talking about how all these tapes of motherfuckers having sex and all this whole kind of gay shit going on never came out. Mm-hmm. They didn't want it to come out. They didn't want it to come out. That prosecutor was you can't get worse than the prosecutors in Diddy trial.
Didn't they get fired like right after?
They threw that shit because there's too many powerful people who been in them parties rubbing cum on their nipples and sucking cock. There's too many A-list celebrities, actors, and rappers who's up there sucking cock in New York, Miami, and LA.
It's like the Epstein files. Like that shit'll never come out, man.
The Diddy files is worse than the Epstein files.
Yeah, because it's people we know.
Yeah, the people we know. Diddy, Epstein, I want to know about the Diddy shit. Fuck Epstein.
Did you pay attention to the Cash Out trial that just ended last week?
I caught the tail end of it. It wasn't much publicity around the actual trial itself. I caught the tail end when they announced that he got found guilty, him and his mom. I seen that shit.
Life in prison?
Yeah.
That's wild.
He got convicted for Diddy shit.
Yeah, he got the RICO.
He got the RICO. What he got is what they were trying to do to Diddy. And his mama went with him.
30 years she got too.
Oh, she gonna die in that motherfucker. You hear me? She gonna die in that motherfucker.
How do you think Cash Out will be treated in prison?
Was it the Georgia RICO or was it the federal RICO?
I think it was Georgia.
Georgia? So he going to state? I mean, hopefully he can fight. Hopefully he can fight. Hopefully he got a hustle hand. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he gonna be in prison with motherfuckers who from where he from, for the most part. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like he told on nobody. He kept it G. So even though it may be distasteful in some people's minds, but a crime is a crime is a crime. Except when you fucking raping kids and raping children. That ain't no regular shit. But I mean, he pimping. He doing that pimp thing, so it was what it was. You hear me? Yeah. So there were elements of kidnapping and other kind of shit in that motherfucker, but the shit he did wasn't outside of the norm of what gangster motherfuckers do. Pimping is gangster shit. So all pimping ain't nice. Some pimping is gorilla pimp. So it is what it is.
Yeah. Tory Lanez, saw what happened to him in prison.
Fuck LA. Fuck LA. I don't want to hear no Crip blood. I don't want to hear no Pyru shit until the motherfuckers stab them motherfucking Mexicans. Forget back at the Mexicans for what they did to Tory Lanez. And I hope this don't get bleeped out. I don't want to hear no Crip blooding. I don't want to hear nothing from no LA motherfucker until y'all get back at them motherfucking essays, the Salernos, about how they played Tory Lanez. I don't want to hear shit about they being on Punk Yard, being on PC, protective custody, blue hole card, none of that shit. Them motherfucking Southern Mexicans in California don't like niggas, and they have more disdain and more hatred in their heart for black people than white people do. LA, y'all gotta put in work. No, I don't wanna hear nothing. Hey, Wack100 and the rest of you little cocksucking motherfuckers, I noticed y'all ain't said nothing about getting back for Tory Lanez. I don't wanna hear shit about he not being from California. I don't wanna hear shit about him being from Canada. Being black is being black. Simple as that. And motherfuckers supposed to ride out for him, period. I don't want to hear none of that shit. LA motherfucker rob a nigga, shoot a nigga, extort a nigga, all the shit they admitted they've done. Wack100, the Luce cannons of the world, the brick babies, they've admitted that they've been extorting rappers for 20 years. Rappers, black comedians, entertainers, R&B artists. You come to California, you get extorted. Y'all doing all this motherfucking gangster shit, but y'all ain't got back about this shit that happened to Tory Lanez. Y'all some bitch motherfuckers. And it's gonna be fuck California till I see some get back.
Do you think Tory was innocent?
Fuck yeah, he was innocent. Megan Thee Stallion is a wretched, funky dog-head bitch. She's a lying hoe. Of course. Of course. Of course she's a lying Bigfoot bitch. Big musty hoe.
Do you believe she was actually shot?
That bitch wasn't shot. That bitch stepped on a piece of glass. Bigfoot bitch. That bitch ain't no ballistics, no gunpowder residue, no none of that shit. That hoe was mad at Tory. She was like an angry bitch. She a T-app bitch. She's the T-app before the T-app was the T-app. That bitch is a walking T-app. Lying and throwing a nigga under the bus and creating fake ass scenario. That hoe need to go to jail. That bitch need to be in jail for lying on that man like that.
What's your thoughts on the T-app, by the way, man? This shit's wild.
Well, I'm gonna tell you something, man. My honest opinion of that shit is that black women have to remember one thing. Black women, they're always criticizing black men, and in some cases, it's justifiable, about how black men treat them and how black men fail to protect them. But the first opportunity that black women, for the most part, get to try to expose somebody, throw them under the bus, they take it and then they attack it with such pleasure and such zeal and such comedy. I can see if the T-App was exposing the motherfucker who on the down low, or if a motherfucker who is raped some kids or molested somebody, or even if a motherfucker on some domestic violence, violent shit towards women or whatever. But all this shit about who fucking who, dick and pussy shit, all right. Just remember that when men start doing the revenge porn, it's against the law to do revenge porn. That was so men couldn't expose women. But they doing the same shit with the T-App and they being hypocritical with the shit. That shit ain't clever, that shit ain't right. And then for the most part, if you got some money, your bitch don't give a fuck if you fuck another bitch, know where she going. She ain't going no motherfucking where. And then with the T-App, when you giving the T-Up, you're really exposing, he knows it's you. Because in most cases, a motherfucker know who had a picture of him. The most men know who's saying that. They know who knows what information about them. It's either the bitch they fucking with or their friends or family members. So most niggas know where that shit coming from. So bitch, all you doing is really cutting off your own nose to spite your face. You's a stupid, goofy bitch. So now it's almost time to go back to school. These same hoes who trying to expose a nigga, you gonna need some money to help your kids get school clothes, right? You gonna need some money, cause Trump ain't tricking with these hoes no more. He cutting FIA benefits, food stamps, Section 8. You hoes gonna need some help. You hoes need to shut the fuck up versus trying to expose a motherfucker, because y'all gonna need some help from these cheating ass men that y'all say y'all don't like and don't fuck with.
Yeah, the future of that shit looks scary, man.
Yeah.
That is for sure.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Last week we had you on here performing the single Attractive, man.
Right.
Talk about how that song came about, man.
Oh shit, what, Chewy, Crispy Life Kid manager, man, he came to me, he said, man, I'm doing a project. This was like 6 months ago. That song was actually 6 to 8 months in the making, because Chewy gave me the loop of the beat that it turned into. Mm-hmm. He sent me the loop 6-7 months ago. And I was supposed to turn that song in for his prior album that came out at the beginning of the year.
Oh, for real?
I was just going through so much shit on my YouTube channel, arguing with these goofy, stupid, bitch-ass niggas so much that I lost focus. When I decided to do the song, I came down here to Atlanta and I went in the studio on man Big Glenn, make it happen, and I did it. We got done doing the song, I sent it to Helliver. And Helliver was like, man, something missing, man. Because it wasn't no drums. It was just the loop of the motherfucker. Hell said, man, I believe in the song, this bitch hard. I wanna add drums to the motherfucker. So I hollered at Chewy to make sure it was cool. And of course, he was honored.
Of course,
to have a collaborative process with Helliver going on. Hell added the motherfucker. I've been pushing it ever since. It debuted #2 on the Amazon music charts, right behind Drake. It's been moving steadily, progressively ever since. As far as I'm concerned, that's my 2 Chainz moment. Motherfucker like, man, he old as hell, he rapping. Nigga, 2 Chainz, a hit record, don't got no age on it, man. This is my 2 Chainz moment. I'm gonna run this bitch through the motherfucking roof, you hear me? I'm gonna put that bag behind that motherfucker and let it do what it do. It is what it is.
How big you think the record can get? Man,
listen, sometimes it takes a record a year or 2 to catch on, for real, for real.
Especially as an independent artist.
Yeah, as an independent artist, right? The song has legs to be a top 10 song in the country because it's so much negativity when it comes to how men talk about women in hip hop. Even though it sounds, when you listen to it, when I'm saying ain't nothing more attractive than a bitch with some money, I'm not dogging or dissing females. I'm actually paying tribute to women who understand that it's power in having your own shit. It's power in being not necessarily an independent woman, but having a woman, having your shit together. So I'm paying homage and I'm paying respect to women who understand that I ain't waiting for a nigga to do shit for me. I'm gonna go make it happen myself. Whatever a man does to me, it's an added, but I'm not waiting for a motherfucker. I'm not sitting back waiting for no allowance for no motherfucker. I'm gonna go out and get it. So I'm really paying respect to women who are hustlers. If you're a hustler, you're gonna love that. Simple as that.
What's next, Dawgface? What else you working on, bro? What else coming up, man?
All YouTube, man. I'm finna go on tour with this song, The Attractive.
Okay.
I'm finna go on tour with it. I got a listening party in Tampa Bay already set for the end of August. I have a listening party, my release party in Houston, at camp in Houston. I'll be at Club Truth in Tampa Bay all next month, all pushing the single. I'm focused on pushing the single, and I'm focused on just making sure and just really going crazy with the whole podcast, the whole Dawgface TV thing, man. I'm going crazy with that shit.
Yeah, and go ahead and plug the new YouTube and the new IG, so folks like myself who couldn't find you for a bit know where to tap in.
Hey,
bro.
listen, it's Dawgface TV. Dawgface TV podcast on everything. Dawgface TV podcast on YouTube. Dawgface TV podcast on Patreon. Dawgface TV podcast on motherfucking Instagram. Go subscribe. Go to my Patreon. Go to my Facebook. Subscribe to my shit. Fuck with me. Rock with me.
Yeah. You want to give it any shout outs before we get to that?
Yeah. I want to give a shout out to Hell of a Chewy, my man RJ Watkins, Exclusive B. I want to give a shout out to everybody who support and rock with me, man. I want to give a shout out, and this is a serious shout out, to LaKyla and Dewan Taylor from Detroit. They both locked up right now for a murder in which they were confronted by some guys with guns. And the young lady, she defended her brother. It was 3 guys jumping on her brother, pistol whipping her brother, and she ran to the car and grabbed the gun and came back and shot the motherfuckers and killed 2 of them, man. So I want to send a shout out to LaKyla and Dewan Taylor. I want to send support to their whole family. I want to tell everybody in Detroit, man, y'all supposed to be supporting them. They're in Macomb County Jail right now. Macomb County is like a suburb of Detroit, you know what I'm saying? Where black people ain't known for necessarily getting a fair shake, you know what I'm saying? I want to shout out LaKyla's attorney, Randall Upshaw. He was my attorney on my gun cases I caught back in 2018. Upshaw, take care of your business, man. A sister needs your help. The family ain't got no bunch of money, man. It is what it is, man. They find themselves in an unfortunate situation. I want to appeal to Randall Upshaw, man. Take that sister case pro bono, man. It is what it is, man. So I want to shout out them. I want to shout out the whole city of Detroit, Pontiac, Flint, all my Flint niggas. Salute Rio home, Rio free. Know what I'm saying?
You see that tour he going on?
Huh?
Bro, I don't think we've ever seen a tour like that, man.
No,
this man's got
it
90
is.
dates in like 88, in like 95 days or something.
Right, and I'm gonna tell you how big that shit Rio is, right? The second song he dropped when he came home was What You Do Today. And in that song, he's like, man, I talk more shit to Dawgface. When that shit dropped, oh, it was what it was, man. Shout out to everybody, man. It is what it is, man.
She's a bad bitch with some motion. She can make her ass move in slow motion. I ain't nothing like a last dude. He was